Hello and welcome to another episode of the New York Sports Rush here on the Bet Rivers Network. And what a series it was this weekend, JJ, for your Yankees. Yankees, Bravos. I mean, basically the same games all the time. Pitchers duel, and then the Yankees can't score any runs. They get great pitching, can't score any runs until late. They figure out a way to win 2 out of 3. Could argue it could have been a sweep, but it easily could have gone the other way. Some bright spots along the way. Old Timers Day, a fun throwback weekend for the Yankees. Even though they take 2 out of 3, the Rays have been red hot, though, and they're starting to pull away a little bit in the AL East. Yankees trail them by 5.5. Your thoughts on where the Yankees are at, JJ? Adding a couple new bats. Ben Rice coming alive with a couple of big hits, although still struggling. The offense, the main culprit for the Yankees' issues.
Absolutely, Sal. And, I thought long and hard about this. Am I going to be glass half full or glass half empty about this particular weekend? And in theory, you would say it has to be glass half full going away. The Braves are what? Record wise, the second best team in the National League. The Yankees got not one, not two, but three outstanding starts. I was in the building Friday night. Fried was unreal. Saturday, Garrett Cole. I've been telling everybody who's been willing to listen, Garrett Cole's getting better and better and better with each and every start. And once again, what else is new? He goes 7+ innings. Like when nobody goes 6, Cole's gone like 7 innings, like 4 or 5 starts out of his last 6. That's awesome. Schlittler, 7 innings, 1 run, baseball strikes out 11. The pedigree of this team is going to be pitching. That 1-2-3 is electric. The reason I can't be pounding my chest, Sal, even after winning 2 out of 3 against the Braves, is that these same problems persist for this Yankee team. They can't situationally hit. They barely can win an extra inning game on Friday night. And then, of course, they go and lose an extra inning game on Sunday. 2-9 now in extra inning games, which is an absolute disgrace this year. And you mentioned the Rays. This is where trouble starts to become reality. The division is slipping away from the Yankees, Sal. That's just all there is to it. It's not over yet. I'm not proclaiming it's over on August the 10th. But they're now 5.5 games back of Tampa, 6 in the loss. This is the biggest the gap has been for the Yankees in the AL East going back to like mid to late May when it looked like Tampa might just run and hide to begin with. Yankees better be careful here because if it's another stretch of baseball where, okay, the Yankees are solid, but the Rays are spectacular, then it becomes 7 or 8. And then the focus of the rest of this year is, hey, home games, wild card, getting guys back. If you have an illusion and a pipe dream of the Yankees winning the division, they really need to go to work and bunker down and win a boatload of games and make up ground in the standings with the Rays. Because, Sal, if they don't, the division's going to be over.
Yeah, I just don't see it happening at this point for the Yankees. I mean, anything's possible. I believe that the Yankees were going to win the division coming into the year. I believe that even when the Rays were out to their hot start, the Yankees were still relatively healthy. Now, though, there's no more like, okay, well, they'll get back healthier. They'll add these pieces. The deadline's come and gone, so we know what the pieces are here, and it's still just not good enough, even offensively. We thought that was the thing. Well, add the pieces offensively. That'll help them get through the rest of the regular season until the guys get back healthy. Maybe they can win the division and then go on in the postseason as the Rays look better and start to pull away. And even the Red Sox, that huge series coming up in about 2 weeks, even the Red Sox, on the heels of the Yankees, even though they struggled with Oakland losing the last couple here, it's the same thing with the Yankees. They pitch well, they have great pitching, and they just don't do what they need to do enough consistently offensively. I think one of the big reasons for that is because of Ben Rice. You look at the way Rice was performing before the All-Star break. I mean, we're talking about Barry Bonds type level, JJ. Post All-Star break, post home run derby, and he had a couple of big hits this weekend, but Rice has not been the same player. Now, I'm not putting it all on him, but when you're at that type of level, and people are saying, "Oh my God, forget Soto, he's going to be this type of player," that level, he has not. He's come back down to earth a little bit, and without that, with him being human, the Yankees are going to need contributions from other guys, and they just aren't getting it. Even with, forget the additions that they made at the deadline, even with bringing up Lombard Jr., who's been tremendous. We could focus on. We could probably do full 30 minutes on Lombard Jr. in the way that he's looked so far. But even with those additions, the Yankees still can't muster enough offense consistently. And at this point, when you start to look at the deficit, it's slipping away pretty quickly here. And come on, like if you had to pick right now, they're probably not. Doesn't mean the season's going to be over. I still think they could win the World Series and certainly get to a World Series. But the division, I think right now, that first check mark is looking extremely unlikely.
Well, Sal, let's acknowledge reality then. They don't win the division. Their road to winning a World Series, more specifically, let's just say getting to a World Series, becomes that much more difficult. Because just the way it sets up, you're going to have to play Boston, more than likely, in a wild card series. And then you're going to have to play Tampa. Like, you're going to have to earn it. Like, there have been years where, oh, the Yankee road to the World Series, like a couple of years ago in 2024, when it was like a total joke, when it was, oh, we have the Kansas City Royals, and then we have the Cleveland Guardians. It actually will get easier after they get through the American League East teams. Just be careful. Yankees have never gone to the World Series as a wild card team. Just remember I said that.
Is
Never.
that true? I didn't even realize that. I would
The
never.
closest they came, Sal, was the last year of Girardi, 2017.
Yeah.
Made it to Game 7. They had a 3-2 lead on the Astros. They couldn't hit in Houston Game 6, Game
Ah, it was a
7.
wild card
But
team,
even in the
okay.
Tory years,
Well, they were always winning the
95
division.
They always won the division. Correct. And when they didn't win the division, 97, they got bounced by Cleveland.
Right.
2007, they got bounced by Cleveland again with Jabba and the Midges. Now, it doesn't mean
right.
it can't happen. Oh, you want to talk about meltdowns in college. You don't want to know about the damage I did in the dorm room as I was watching that game unfold. As
I was
Andy
loving
Pettit
that.
threw a gem, and I'm screaming at Torrey to get the team off the field. A-Rod striking out against Fausto Carmona when he was all throwing 102. Oh, it's the sickening Yankee loss. Sickening Yankee loss. I don't know why I went there, but I went there. The point being is, Sal, a lot more challenging for the Yankees. Want to ask you this question. I had no problem with it. None. Because he had the great game on Saturday and he had a couple of hits against Sale. Do you have an issue with the Yankees not bunting? Jones is not going to bunt. Jones probably never bunted in his life. Extra innings, they hold to 1 run. Are you okay with Jones hitting there, runner on second, nobody out?
Yeah, you're saying, play it safe and then move them over.
Well, you would have to pinch hit to bunt, right? Like, that's the thing. Like, you would have to send
he's
up
not bunting. Yeah.
Jones ain't bunting. You're either sending up Rosario or Caballero there bunt.
Yeah, you saw what Caballero did. He's terrible at that.
That was insane. How is that possible? You know I love the people's utility man. He's been rebranded now with the call-up of George Lombard. I'm at the games. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Wait, I don't know if that's come from the dugout. I don't know if that's him trying to be cute. At that point, swing the bat.
Yeah, I didn't have a big deal with it. Did you? By the way, did you stay for the whole game Friday night?
Of course I did.
Wow. Look at you.
Here's the deal. If the game is delayed 2 hours and we came from SOY, Chris Farina and myself.
Yeah.
If you're already pot committed to staying through almost a 2-hour rain delay, and we didn't get there early. We got there a little after 7 o'clock. I want to make that abundantly clear. What else did I have to do?
What time was first pitch?
9.
And what time did it end?
After midnight.
It's still not bad, though, because a 3-hour game.
Well, the 4 train going local on us, not great. I walked in my apartment door a little after 2 in the morning.
Ooh,
well, again,
brutal.
I already let the wife know it was probably the best win of the season. So it made it at least worthwhile. And again, baby asleep, wife asleep. What else am I going to do?
How much fun are you having watching George Lombard Jr.? Certain guys just looked apart. I'm not trying, and I don't want to compare. Like, I hate doing the comps. Oh, this guy could be the next Jeter or whatever. But there were 3 plays this weekend that when I watched George Lombard Jr., and by the way, outside of even comparisons, he's just incredible to watch. He gives quality, even if he's striking out, quality at bats, a big league eye. He does not look overwhelmed. Everything about him is just special right now, screaming special. But 3 plays in particular, the jump play in the hole, Jeter-esque. I think he made it look easier than Jeter used to, honestly. Like that, I think he's a better fielder than Derek Jeter. The home run number 2, Old Timers Day to the short porch and right. And then another inside-out swing in yesterday's game that he ended up lining out to first, but kind of that inside-out to right for a big, tall shortstop like that. It just reminds me of Jeter. Again, I'm not saying he's got to be Jeter, and those are the expectations. That's ridiculous. But 3 plays this weekend alone reminded me of Jeter. Lombard Jr. is extremely fun to watch.
Well, he's passing every test. And I've said this about his defense since we saw him last week. He looks like he's been playing defense in the big leagues for 5 or 6 years. The encouraging part about Lombard is not only what the eye test is telling you, but the fact that the at-bat quality, Sal, whether it's a hit or not, knowing the strike zone, good challenges. You mentioned the idea of going to the opposite field. shortening up the approach with 2 strikes, just winning qualities, winning intangibles. Now, I think down the road for this team, there's a very good chance he's going to profile as a leadoff hitter. I think Sal, the worst thing, the absolute worst thing the Yankees can do is look at the young guy and say, yeah, I'm putting you in the leadoff spot. Let him relax. He's been here a week. He's thriving. He's doing fine. Let's not get nuts. Let's not take him now and say, hey, you're our leadoff hitter after seeing this for a week. Too much. Too much on the young man.
Now, where is this even coming from? Because somebody else brought that up to me.
Well, I saw it on Twitter. So
Okay,
sometimes you got to be careful on what you see on Twitter.
I'm glad, yeah, but it was just somebody's opinion saying
I don't know. I can't even credit someone. I feel like I've just seen it in the feed.
But
maybe it's the For You, which is always dangerous, the For You feed on Twitter.
Correct.
You know.
But that adds up because I was getting texts from my my show producer, and he brought that up. And I was like, why are you like who would be bringing that up at this point? And now you said it, so it does make me think he probably ripped that off of social media. And there's this younger fan who wants Lombard Jr. to immediately be no. Part of the reason why he's having success is because they're not just throwing him to the wolves and putting that pressure on him. So I am in alignment with you. Now, do I think that batting him leadoff would ruin him? No, but
especially if he's wired properly. Like Sal, I'll give you a comparison.
I think he is.
Let me give you a comparison. Jeter in 96 hit in the 9-hole and at the bottom of the order for a good chunk of the season, over half the year. When it became abundantly clear after a large sample size, okay, he's ready for it, Torrey moved him to the leadoff spot. I think that's how you would approach Lombard. I, for one, let him hit for 2.5 months. And if you get to a point where it's like, you know what? I think he's ready. I've seen enough here. Great. Not after a week or two of it back.
Yeah, I mean, come on. It just shows people can't be disciplined or patient or even think like part of the reason for his success might in fact be because he's not being thrust in that spot right out of the gate. Hey, go get him. On a team that can't hit, like they just made the acquisitions. Everybody's hurt. We can't score any runs. Here's Lombard Jr. Let's throw more onto his plate than being the shortstop of the New York Yankees. Now, by the way, I'm not saying I don't think he could handle it. All I'm saying is they're doing the right thing by nursing him along. You don't just throw him out there. So I'm in agreement with you. I think anything to the contrary is asinine at this point. You want to revisit that conversation a month, 2 months down the road about moving him to leadoff? Maybe he profiles or projects as their leadoff hitter eventually. We had the same conversation with Volpe.
Yes, we did.
We had the same conversation with Volpe. The guy was hitting 340 when he came up, banging a ball around all over the place, speed, power, opposite field. Oh, he'd be I was saying it. He'd be the perfect leadoff hitter. But it just doesn't work.
And then they moved
like
him to the leadoff spot. Now, again, it's not like they took him out of the bottom of the order and he was thriving, but you get the point. Like it was not advantageous for the player. Just
can't do it. So you're giving up on the division officially with the Yankees?
No. I'm not there yet.
Okay.
I would say that the division right now is on life support. I have not. I'll tell you when we do the official burial on the AL East for 2026. I'm not there yet on August the 10th.
All right. The Mets have been long dead and buried, although some would make you believe that. Like I read somewhere, and look, the media is asking Lindor about it, so it's not Lindor's fault for answering the questions.
Oh, yeah, I think I know where you're going with this. Are they playing better because it's Lindor back, Soto not there? Classic.
No, I didn't see that either. What is that? Another Twitter?
No. I'm just trying to stir up.
Yeah, don't be starting that stuff. Although there is something. Look, here's the bottom line, and you know me. Nobody loves Soto more than I do. They have not won with Soto. So now I'm not saying like this year they haven't won with Soto in the lineup because they were. Without Soto in the lineup early on, that's when they went in that 14-game tailspin that ruined the season. And I don't think this is a Soto problem, but it's hard to argue the facts that they were very good in 2024. They have added Juan Soto, and they have been basically a losing team since. And even last year, the Soto hotness coincided with the Mets going into the tank. When Soto was cold in the beginning of the year, they were playing well. Soto got hot. The team played worse. And now this year, now they're starting to play better, and Soto's out of the lineup. No, but no, I was not going there. Somebody was asking Lindor about, like, I guess when he was with the Guardians one year, they went on a run. And like an incredible run to make the postseason. So it's like never say never, and we're not giving up on the season. I mean, that's absurd to me. The Mets are as dead can be. They're too far buried back. It's nice seeing them playing winning baseball. But as you project it moving forward, maybe it's not as bad as I initially thought for 2027. The energy that Benj and Ewing are bringing, and they look like they're getting better each day. Dude, they play excellent defense. They run the bases well. They go first to third. They can score from second base on a base hit. The offensive at bats, Ben showing some pop, Ewing showing great plate discipline, also putting the bat on the ball, hitting the ball hard. I think there's real reason to believe. I hope this is not me being blind, and I'd love to get your take on this. I do believe there is real reason to believe that maybe they could be better than we thought in 2027.
Okay, I'm not even going to look at the young guys here. I'm going to look at two guys that were stars of your game on Sunday. Bichette over the last month has been way better. Now, it doesn't excuse what happened from April through mid-June, where he stole money from the team and was easily one of the biggest culprits for this season being a lost cause. But I think you and I are both of the understanding, Sal. He's going to be back on the Mets next year because he's making $42 million a year. And I don't know what GM in baseball would give Bichette what he's making this year. So, like, if you're him, it doesn't make sense to go to free agency, especially with the upheaval with the labor negotiations. Why do I bring that up? He's going to be here. If this now is going to be the version of Bichette that you're going to get, you feel much better about the situation. It's like, wow,
Right.
he's getting multi-hit games. He's looking like the guy he was with the Toronto Blue Jays, where it's kind of like one of these situations where it's like, hey, we know we're going to be together. It's like we went to marriage counseling and we figured out some relationship
Right.
issues, and now we can go and have a thriving relationship. That's kind of the Mets and Bichette. Like, it might be Bichette mechanical. It might be Bichette confidence-wise. Whatever it is, they need this version, not the guy we saw earlier in the year. Now, the other positive, dude, how about Manaea recently?
Yeah, I know.
Like, and I want to give Sean Manaea credit because, Sal, he was beyond left for dead, not just by members of the media. He was left for dead by the team. They had him in mop-up duty, basically where it was like, look, he's making $20-something million a year. We can't cut him. We can't trade him. He's got to be here. We got to figure it out. Manaea wasn't a baby, didn't throw a fit, worked on his craft, got his velocity up, got better in the bullpen. Then they gradually moved him to like the piggyback guy with an opener. And then out of desperation was like, well, we got nobody else to pitch. Sean, here you go. You're getting the ball every fifth day. Let's see what you can do. He's not quite where he was in 2024, but Sal, he's pretty damn close.
Yeah.
This is the best version of Sean Manaea we've seen since the playoffs of 2024. I'm rooting for the guy. I like him personally. He seems like a real likable guy, and he's pitching his ass off. Can he at least be a guy that reliably takes the ball every fifth day for this team? That's something that would help.
No, I don't think you can count on him moving forward. However, I never thought that we'd see this. Bro, we talked about this with Garrett Cole or just starters lines in general. 7 innings, 11 strikeouts and no walks.
That's a Schlittler line.
Dude, that's an ace.
Schlittler.
That's
a Schlittler line. It's what we saw Sunday against the Braves, basically.
I didn't think Manaea would be able to get outs consistently, let alone do that even once. When you go 7 innings and have 11 Ks and no walks, I mean, I don't care who it's against. In today's big leagues, that is an ace-like performance. That was Sean Manaea 2024. So the fact that he even did that, the Mets do deserve some credit. 2 guys. Now, look, I'm not patient. Okay, most of us fans are not patient. And a lot of times patience is not rewarded, in fact. Like, I'm still waiting for Mark Vientos to do something.
Well, Kodai Senga, but I digress. Well,
but that
out of the bullpen now. Now we're okay.
Oh, okay. I still would have moved. I would have cut Senga and Manaea months ago.
See, I was with you on Senga. I would have given Manaea more leash because I'm honoring 24 at least. You know?
Fair enough. And I mean, he's throwing pulse up there, dude. Like he would, and now he's throwing harder. Okay, which is good. But either way, the patience in Manaea clearly rewarded now. And by the way, they're on the hook for $20 million next year, so he's going to be a factor. Who knows what the offseason is going to like, the health situation. Is he going to have a spot in the rotation? But he is going to factor in to their pitching plans, even if just like a 6th or 7th starter. Manaea at least will be that. Senga, I don't know if he's ever going to be a starter again, but patience with him has shown that maybe he could be a bullpen arm. I don't want to see him. The sight of him makes me nauseous, but maybe the patience is being rewarded in that regard as well if he could get some outs out of the bullpen. Point is, overall, however you want to slice it, whether it's Manaea, Bichette, I think is an interesting one because he could be a star. Healthy Lindor, healthy Soto, the outfield that the Mets have in place. Even Semien has looked good. I thought Semien would have a big year this year. I was wrong on that, but He's looked better as of late. I don't know if he's necessarily toast. I think you can make the catching situations not awful. I think you can make a case, and I'm not saying World Series, don't get me wrong, or even division. I'm just saying with the expectations going to be significantly lower next year, maybe the Mets can be competitive in 2027.
Sal, I sure hope so. For your sake and for my sake, please,
And
please.
and they
The
have to
only
be.
thing I push back on, and I think those are all very, very fair and very, very sound points. Simeon's still toast.
Come on, bro.
Other than that, you got me. I'm
Come
following
on, he
along. I'm
plays.
like catching situation good, outfield encouraged. Maybe Lindor is back to where he was full year. Bichette, I'm starting to get encouraged. And then I hear Simeon, I'm like, no.
He's had some pop. I mean, you could do worse than Simeon. Even Luis Robert Jr. I was thinking about this. Entertain me here for a second before
Yes.
we'll close it up in a minute here. I want to get your thoughts on the movie that you saw. Robert Jr. has, like, the way Stearns is talking about it, it's like, oh, we're going to evaluate him in the next 2 months. And it drives me nuts that he's playing center and not
Oh,
AJ
I know.
Young.
This is trying, and I get it. I totally get it.
Benj in left field. Like, Benj is your right fielder. Ewing's your center fielder. Soto's your left fielder. Period. End of story. Now, those other two guys can play the other outfield positions. Do you think, because it just hit me this morning, that maybe this is a possibility? Because initially it was Robert Jr. is going to be showcased to be traded, and then we'll move the pieces back to where they belong. Now that's not the case. We saw with Grisham a year ago get the qualifying offer for $20 million or whatever it was. Do you think that there is a part of Stearns or the Mets thought process that says, hey, let's see what we got here with Robert Jr. the rest of the way? And based on what is out there in free agency, based on the market for players of his potential and caliber, maybe 20 million isn't the worst bargain. And not as an everyday center fielder, certainly, but play a little center, get Soto off his feet at DH, put Ewing in left. Then Robert could DH one day, Ewing in center, and maybe you can make it work like that, where you have Robert Jr. as a part of this Mets team next year by picking up that the option.
Sal, he better rake over the final 2 months of the year to be justifying $20 million. Because think about this. The Mets couldn't trade him at the deadline because he was making too much money. It's the only reason they couldn't trade him.
If Grisham's worth $20 million on the qualifying offer, you don't think that Robert Jr. could be? And again, dude, I don't know what the market's going to like. What do you think, Robert?
My question is, from that standpoint, though, like right here, right now, if that was the case and it was going to be interest, wouldn't somebody have traded for Luis Robert and picked up $4 or $5 million?
Yeah, maybe they. I don't know what I know they tried to move him, but maybe whatever the return value wasn't there. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I haven't talked to anybody about it. I'm just trying to think it through. And
No. And listen, if he hits, I think it's a discussion. And I think bigger picture, how about this? What do you think about the idea of telling Juan Soto in the offseason, buddy boy, what do you think about first base?
I mean, that's also a possibility.
Because then all of a sudden, Luis Robert makes a lot more sense. And listen, you love Juan Soto. I love Juan Soto. You don't love Juan Soto because he's Roberto Clemente out in the outfield.
No, you also want to keep him healthy. I think
I want him to hit. I want him to play. And if these leg issues now are the start of something, DH more.
It makes sense. Also, so also for the Mets, right? Because it's the 20. I believe this is the case. It's a $20 million option on Robert Jr. If they decline, they still have to pay $5 million. So really, you're talking about, right? If they decline the option, I think it's $5 million to go away. So now you're talking about $15 million. And then if I ask you, like, on the open market, would you rather pay Trent Grisham for $15 million, or would you rather pay Luis Robert if you're whatever anonymous team, $15 million? I guess my point is we're so down on Robert because he got hurt this year and he's been hurt. But God, dude, his potential might be worth $15 million alone for at least 1 year where there's no long-term commitment. It's only going to cost $20 million total, but the difference is either $5 million to go away and $15 million more to keep him here under control for 1 more year.
I can't believe Sal's talking himself back into Luis Robert next year.
Me neither. Am I talking you into it, or you're totally out?
No, I'm not totally. I want to see him play well over the final 2 months of the year. I think that's definitely a part of the calculus.
All right, you went to a movie by yourself, which I saw
first time ever, by the way.
I know, which I saw you post about this on X. Like, oh, is it acceptable? And I was like, of course it is. I used to love going to the movies by myself. What'd you think of your first time?
I really enjoyed it. So wife and baby were at cousin Ariana's out in Long Island. So basically I knew I had day to myself, got the workout in, did my VSiN show, watched the Yankee game. Yankee game wraps up. I was like, wow, 5 o'clock Spiderman. because I couldn't justify going to see the Odyssey for 3.5 hours. I had to do TV. I got to eat dinner.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do this. I want to see the Spider-Man movie. I would make the argument, Sal, that this was the best of the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. And I
Not
love the one where you had all the guys in it, like where you had Andrew Garfield and you had Tobey Maguire. I thought that was super cool. I just thought the storyline with Jean Grey and you throw in the Hulk. By the way, spoilers. If you don't want spoilers, maybe don't
yeah,
listen
no
to this
spoilers.
right
Go
now.
ahead, you do it.
Earmuffs. Oh, you didn't see it?
No, I'm going tomorrow to see it. Spider-Man?
Yes.
I'm going tomorrow morning. You could give the spoilers away. But
No. That's good. That's good. But I loved it. I didn't give anything with the movie away.
Okay.
That's all. I just told you a couple people that are going to be in it. It shouldn't be a surprise.
Yeah, I'm going to see it tomorrow morning with my wife. And while that is also fun, you're essentially going to the movie by yourself anyway. It's not like you could talk during the movies. I mean, you're not doing that. So when you go to the movies, no matter who you're going with, you're kind of going by yourself. You're not talking, having full conversations during these movies, are you?
No, but it's fun to have the companionship, I
Yeah.
guess, the banter if something cool happens in the movie. But
Yeah.
it was I'm very curious to get your thoughts on Wednesday. I really liked it.
All
I
right.
give it a 7.5 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Very good grade.
Now you got to see Odyssey. I saw Moana.
Wife wants to see Odyssey. That's why I'm waiting on her.
You got to go see it. I saw Moana with my daughter.
Oh, how was that?
It was okay, but the person next to me was singing all the songs in the movie out loud. Like, what are we doing here?
Come on.
Hey, dude. I mean, come
Do
on.
that in your own time.
Exactly. You want to do that in the shower?
I have to admit, even the clapping, they all clapped at the end of the Spider-Man. I even found that weird. And like, I'm a very like happy, jovial guy. It's like, all right, what are we clapping for? We're not a sporting event. Come on, let's go home.
All right, JJ, that's going to do it for this edition of the New York Sports Rush.
Glad I didn't spoil the movie too much.
No, I didn't hear anything. I'm good. You said it was good. I'm now going in with raised expectations, like the Mets this year. They had the raised expectations.
See now
I like going in with no expectations, but no,
doubt.
You raised the expectations. That does it for us. We'll see you Wednesday with another New York Sports Rush right here on the Bet Rivers Network.